the company is called Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T, and the hope for crypto enthusiasts is that this startup will help bring digital currencies to the masses. It's backed by the New York Stock Exchange's parent company ICE and a slew of other big corporations. To start, Bakkt will provide trading and conversion of Bitcoin versus fiat currencies. But the platform has big goals. It's aiming to become the infrastructure that helps institutionalize digital currencies on a large scale. In addition to ICE, Bakkt is backed by the likes of Microsoft, Boston Consulting Group, and Starbucks. Bakkt could be used to convert Bitcoin and other digital coins into U.S. dollars that can be used at Starbucks stores, which means, yes, you can buy your coffee, or in my case, iced coffee, with crypto. Microsoft is helping with the cloud solutions to create the global ecosystem for digital assets, and some big names in the finance world are also backing the venture, including Fortress, Galaxy Digital, Pantera Capital, and Susquehanna. The platform is expected to launch in November. So let the countdown begin, Michelle.
Yes, let's do that. Thank you, Leslie. All right, our crypto baller, Brian Kelly, says this is, quote, the biggest news of the year. He's over at the Plasma to explain why.
Wow.
Take it away.
This is huge news that I think the market is completely underappreciating. So let's talk about why this is the biggest news of the year for Bitcoin. Right here, it paves the way for an ETF. Last week, I stood up here and said, you know what? I don't think the ETF is going to get approved. And guess what? Winklevoss ETF got rejected. Why? Because there wasn't a U.S. regulated exchange and there wasn't U.S. regulated custody. That's what this does. They're now going to have a U.S. regulated exchange trading Bitcoin. They have a licensed warehouse, which is how commodities are stored. That's going to make it a lot easier for an ETF to come through. It's even better than Bitcoin futures. That's the second thing that I think people are missing. Problem with Bitcoin futures, very limited set of people that can trade it, and a lot of people use it for hedging. But they're talking about getting this into your 401k. They're talking about you're in your Schwab or Fidelity or TD Ameritrade account. You're going to be able to buy a Bitcoin ETF, a Bitcoin mutual fund. It expands the universe. So my conclusion here is the crypto market is completely missing this. Perhaps the market in general is missing this. This is very, very big news. So let's take a look at the charts, see where we are on Bitcoin. We've had this huge, painful bear market. Look at this, though. We've had a little pop here. Probably that was the move on the anticipation of an ETF, which didn't happen, and now we've retraced. So if you're looking for an entry point in Bitcoin, this might just be the place.
Hey,
now, let's look at one more, Tim. You got to hold on there, buddy.
Yeah,
I got one more.
The bit here, dude.
Look at this. What's going on here? This is Ethereum Classic. Why is it up 11% this afternoon or this evening right now? Because Coinbase just announced that they are likely to have trading and add it to their platform August 7th or later. They're doing the final testing right now, and they anticipate having it on there. That's your Coinbase effect right there. Now, Tim, I can take all your questions.
I am sure. I'm told this is the biggest Bitcoin news of the year. How is it that these guys are ahead of the pack on this, or what? Without getting too in the weeds on what technically they've put together here, do you believe that this is about to happen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're talking about launching in November. So they have been working on this in stealth mode for the last 14 months. They have already talked to regulators. They're ready to go. I mean, for them to launch a full-scale regulated exchange by November, they have to be working on this.
Why didn't Bitcoin pop more, do you think? I mean,
people,
you know, like back in January, this would have been
back in January, Bitcoin would have
worth.
been up 20% on this news. So I think the bear market has just broken people's spirit, frankly, and so people aren't really looking for this. And, you know, a lot of the people that I talked today hadn't seen the news, came out at 8:30. People hadn't seen it till 2, 3 in the afternoon, so the market's still digesting this. And remember, most of Bitcoin trading happens in Asia, so it was released at 8:30 this morning. That's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night in Asia. When Asia wakes up, you might see this thing pop.
Beeks, why is this, you know, I have the Cash app, right? And so I have cash on it and I have Bitcoin on it. And I can go and I can pay anybody in cash or Bitcoin. I just don't understand why this is that important. I could walk into a Starbucks and I could convert my crypto into fiat dollars and I could buy my Frappuccino. What's the
latte?
All right, so the other part of this is that Starbucks, they're going to allow you to take your crypto and effectively kind of load a U.S. dollar card with this. You know, we don't have a problem with our payment system here in the U.S. As you said, you can take your Cash App, go in there, it's not a problem. This is more of a move forward, and if you look at Starbucks' history, they're really at the forefront of digital payments, particularly in the retail space. So to have them involved is more of a signal that this is becoming more of a mainstream. Now, if you go globally, they're talking about Bitcoin as a global currency, which is what I believe it could be. And you look at globally, people are going to start using Bitcoin. People will use Bitcoin to buy their coffee if their currency doesn't work well.
BK, is it going to move the needle for ICE? I know it's a small aspect of their business, but is this going to move the needle? You probably think it'll move the needle incrementally at the start. ICE has lagged just a bit in the space. Do you think that this can have domino effects through their whole entire business if this really starts to take off?
So my view in general, yes, I do think it will. My view in general is that most of the stuff that are traded on exchanges today will be blockchain-based tokens in 3 to 5 years, and so ICE is ahead of the curve on that.